Headphones all right?
Institution, the Chautauqua County Industrial.
Batting second, the second baseman from Princeton University, number 11, Tommy Googins. Batting third, the DH for Pitt Bradford, number 7, Evan Frahela. Batting fourth, the extra hitter from Princeton University, number 44, Jake Gernolo. Batting fifth, the catcher from Williams College, number 17, Henry Juwan. Batting sixth, the third baseman from Jamestown State, number 20, Matt Thompson. Batting seventh, the center fielder from Wagner, number 39, Zach Kent. Batting eighth, the left fielder from Canyon University, number 22, Kieran Gagnon. Batting ninth, the first baseman from Drury University, number 27, Cooper Monroe. Batting 10th, the right fielder from Drury University, number 28, Luke Fuller. And on the mound for your Tarp Skunks, today's community bank starting pitcher from St. John's University, number 12, Evan Chafee. Knockout team managers Jordan Hills, this is coaches Barry Hollow and Danny Jackson. Anthem will be performed during game 2.
Jamestown Tarp Skunks baseball on WRFA. I'm Norm Rodriguez, joined by Jason Sample, and tonight's game features, in the words of former Chicago Cub Ernie Banks, let's play 2, a doubleheader between your Jamestown Tarp Skunks, who are hosting the Auburn Doubledays. A reminder, support for WRFA's coverage of Jamestown Tarp Skunks baseball is through support from Schultz Auto Group, the Chautauqua County Industrial Development Agency, Chautauqua Institution, and Reg Lenné Center for the Arts. Funding is also provided by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting. Today's game is being broadcast on WRFA 107.9 FM and streaming on WRFALP.com, with the broadcast also available on the Tarp Skunks YouTube channel. And Jason, the stretch that Jamestown has had, they've got to start putting their foot on the gas. They are just a game and a half behind in first place, and the rest of this season, they've got to treat it every game as a must-win.
Well, I think every team in the Western Division is treating it like every game is a must-win, Norm,
Very
because
true.
obviously it's a log jam up there at the top. You have several teams that, in mathematically speaking, may still be able to win the division. You've got Niagara Power and today's opponent, the Auburn Doubledays, both coming in at 19-7. Jamestown locked in at third place with a record of 21-14-1. You've got the Elmira Pioneers at 24-14, and then you've got the Batavia Muck Dogs at 23-13. There's 6 games remaining for Jamestown. That's counting 2 games taking place today. So every game definitely counts, Norm, and it begins right now with this pitch. We are all ready to get this doubleheader underway. It's Jamestown taking on the Auburn Doubledays, and we'll let you go down the lineup and bring you the first pitch tonight. Starting pitcher, by the way, for Jamestown is Evan Chafee. Take it away, Norm.
And with that, Chafee throwing his first pitch, and it's fouled off, and it's Carson Gross that's up the bat as Monroe makes the catch. 1 pitch, 1 out, pop the first. So the rest of the batters from 2 through 10. Hazel Martinez is about to come up the bat. He's the DH. And then it'll be A.J. Wenrich, who's in right. Bobby Stang, who we've seen him hit the ball pretty well. He's the extra hitter. He's one of the biggest guys on the team. And then from 5 through 10, Garrett Living Long and Prosper at first. Christian Melito in left. James Don't Call Me Michael Bolton behind the plate. Michael Woolley at third. Kevin Dolan at second. And Emil Sander at center.
That first pitch was a strike, by the way, Norm. I don't know if you saw it or not, but there you go.
Well, yeah, good catch on that because I did not quite see that. But here's the 0-1 delivery by Chafee. That one's down the pipe, straight 2. And
pitching,
ever since, yeah.
I was going to say, pitching to Hazel Martinez, who's batting .326, by the way, with 86 at-bats. He's one of the top batters in the Perfect Game Collegiate Baseball League, Western or Eastern Division.
Next one's fouled off, so Martinez stays alive. And last time we saw Chafee start, strong performance. Even though he was saddled with a no decision, he pitched 5 innings. He struck out 8 batters. So I'm anticipating at least something similar.
Yeah, we'll get Chafee's stats here in a moment. First, this pitch to Martinez.
and it's upstairs for ball one, but he's still ahead in the count 1-2.
Martinez is ranked 16th in the Perfect Game Collegiate Baseball League with his .326 record, and nobody in Jamestown is in the top 20, but we do have one player at number 22. There's a foul ball down the first baseline. That would be Grady Me, obviously. We'll talk more about him in a moment. But getting back to Martinez, as I noted, he is a quality hitter for the Auburn Doubledays, batting .326. He's had 28 hits so far, 9 doubles and 1 home run, 26 RBI, 25 walks, and 11 strikeouts. Not an easy player to strike out.
And from what I see, leads the team in runs batted in as there's another foul ball. That's either 3 or 4 in a row by him. So not only is he making Chafee work, he's starting to raise the pitch count, which is always good. Yeah, so far, Jamestown, they are winless versus Auburn. They're 0-4 versus them as this one goes into shallow left for a base hit, so the average goes up a few more ticks for Martinez.
Yeah, it tells you why Martinez is a quality hitter and at the top of the list when it comes to batters in the league.
And with that, it'll be Wenrich, the right fielder.
Wenrich, by the way, is batting only .168. 101 at-bats. So he's got plenty of plate appearances, but not much to show for it with a batting average under 200. That one's fouled back.
Yes, so Wenrich behind 0-1. And taking a look at Chafee's numbers pitching-wise so far this season, 9 games appeared. This will be his 10th and his 5th start, 25 1/3 innings pitched, 28 hits, 14 runs. This is a pickoff. 12 of them were earned. 11 walks and 25 strikeouts. So the walk-to-strikeout ratio, very acceptable, more than 2-1. And his ERA also a pretty solid 4.26.
Norm, you're doing my job for me, bud.
Oh, I saw you step away, so I figured I'd do it while you were gone.
Well, thanks. That was nice of you. Just shutting the door there. It gets a little noisy up here in the press box. Gets distracting. All the same, though, we've got 1 ball, 1 strike, and 1 out here. Chafee with a delivery and a man at first. That's Martinez for Auburn. It's the game 1 of a doubleheader. We are in the top of the first inning.
Well, here's Chafee's next pitch. It's fouled off, so 1-2 count. Yeah, and I would presume, though, looking at the numbers, that he has assumed the role that DeMarco had. And, yeah, from what we've seen, very more superior as a starter than he had been as a bullpen pitcher.
Yes, indeed. Near the top of the list for strikeouts, ranked 3rd on the team for strikeouts.
And he adds another one to that as a swing and a miss, and AJ will never know when he's rich as he strikes out swinging, and now it will be a Stang, the extra hitter.
Yeah, Bobby Sting is also in the top 25 list for batters in the Perfect Game Collegiate Baseball League as we're rounding out the final week of the season. He comes in with a .319 average, 113 at-bats, 15 runs scored, 36 hits, 18 doubles, 3 home runs, and 34 RBIs. Definitely a power hitter. That's why he's batting cleanup.
Checks Martinez at first. Here's the next pitch. And that one inside corner, strike 1. From what we've seen throughout the year, Jamestown, they've had a 4-catcher platoon system. And for game 1, it's Henry Juwan that's behind the dish taking Chafee's pitches.
If you remember.
Oh, this one's hit to left center, and it looks like it's going to drop and hits off the Dave Warren sign. So that's going to be an extra base hit, and had that park have been a little smaller, that one likely would have been gone. But for Stang, it is a double. He and Martinez are now in scoring position, and now it will be Prosper, the first baseman.
Well, last Friday, Norm, not this week ago last Friday, Auburn was here in town, and we saw Sting drop the ball just about the same spot. He hit a off-the-wall double, and we saw it here tonight. As I noted, he's the cleanup hitter, the power hitter, and he exhibited it right there with a nice hit into left center for a double. With 2 outs, though, Jamestown can still get out of this. But we got to see what they can do against Prosper.
Well, here's Chafee's next pitch, and it's outside, ball 1.
Prosper, by the way, is batting .215 on this season with 93 plate appearances. He's got 20 hits, 4 doubles, 1 home run, and 20 RBIs. You can add to that tally right here if you can get a base hit.
So in spite of the average, when there's runners on, gets it done. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters. As here comes Chafee's 1-0. That one right down the middle of the plate, strike 1. So counts even here, 1-1, 2 outs, runners in scoring position. Staying at second, Martinez at third. Next delivery on the way by Chafee, and that one inside, 2-1. Prosper looking for that right one to drive home 1, maybe even 2 runs. But Chafee looking to keep the 0 on the board. He does have 2 outs in his favor. Here's the 2-1. Swung on and missed. Went fishing and got nothing. 2-2.
Yeah, really nice slider there, moving from inside to outside. Prosper unable to do anything. It is left-handed pitcher versus left-handed pitcher, and oftentimes that's when you can get the batter off balance when you're a lefty throwing at him, and we saw it right there. So here's a key 2-2 count with 2 outs here with runners at second and third, top of the first inning. Let's see if Chafee can get out of this mini jam.
Well, here's the 2-2, and that one in the dirt, ball 3. And with the payoff pitch coming, should Prosper get on base, Malillo is on deck. So we got a full count, 2 outs, runners in scoring position. As Chafee gets the sign he wants from Juwan, checks the runner at first or at second. Here's the payoff, and that's low, ball 4. So Prosper will live long and prosper on the first base off the walk, and it will be Malillo, the left fielder, coming up to take advantage of the bases loaded situation, though there is 2 outs.
Christian Malillo is coming in from left field. He bats .253, 83 at-bats. He's got 21 hits, including 3 doubles, 3 triples, 2 home runs, 17 RBI, 20 walks, but 28 strikeouts, Norm. So he is somebody who has struck out before, and we'll see if Chafee can get him this time.
This one's popped up.
That's just as good.
Yeah, Guggen's calling for it, and he will make the catch for the 3rd out. So Chafee able to get out of the bases loaded pickle that he was in. No runs on the board for Auburn, and the Skunks coming up to bat.
All right, Norm, well, what do you say we thank some of the sponsors who make this broadcast possible? Support for WRFA's coverage of the Jamestown Tarp Skunks throughout the 2023 season is brought to you in part by Schultz Auto Group. Schultz Auto Group celebrating over 50 years serving automotive needs of the greater Jamestown community with an excellent customer buying and ownership experience. All repair facilities have experienced and factory-trained technicians with state-of-the-art equipment for all automotive needs, no matter what engine type, gas, diesel, or electric. Schultz Auto Group, a proud supporter of Tarp Skunk Baseball on WRFA. For more information, you can call 1-866-931-2998 or visit schultzauto.com.
And with that, starting pitcher for Auburn, Andrew Isdale, warming up in the bullpen. But first, we've got the starting batters for your Skunks, and the main guy that's been the leadoff hitter, the greedy man, the one with the Pam on his uniform, the greasy, the greedy Grady Me, the shortstop. Then it'll be Tommy Guggens, who's the second baseman, batting second. Evan Frahella DHing, batting third. Cronodal, who's got the power hitting for Jamestown, is the extra hitter, batting cleanup. Then 5 through 10 will be Juwan, the catcher. Matt Thompson at third. Zach Kent, the Superman, at center. Kieran Gagnon, who's come alive in the halfway part of the season and left. Cooper Monroe at first, and Luke Fuller in right. And again, Andrew Isdale, the starting pitcher for game 1 of this doubleheader for Auburn.
Well, Norm Isdale has appeared in 8 games this season, including 2 starts. He's come in a total of 25 innings pitched so far, primarily out of off the bullpen in relief. He's got 18 hits given up. He's given up 11 runs, all of them earned. He's walked 11 batters, has struck out 17 batters. He has a record of 2-1 with 1 save, and his ERA comes in just a smidge under 4.00 at 3.96.
So solid numbers for a league like this, as Grady Meese set to come up to bat, and he's one of those guys, that one of a handful that Jamestown has, where if they get on base, you got to keep a sharp eye on them, because a lot of the Skunk players, they're known for having the turbo on the back of their cleats.
Yes, they are. Grady Mee batting left-handed, facing the right-handed pitcher in Isdale. And Mee is batting .319 in the season. That's good for number 22 overall in the league.
As he fouls the first pitch off the gate for strike 1.
He's has 94 at-bats, has 30 hits, scored 22 runs, 6 doubles, 2 triples, 14 RBI, 17 walks, and 19 strikeouts to go along with his 20 stolen bases, which leads the league. or leads the team, I should say.
I do know Josh Leadham, last we knew, had a 24.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Lead the team, not the league. My apologies.
No, you're good, as a bunt went foul for strike 2. Not a bad idea, though. If you get in fair territory, you've got the legs to hustle over to first. But that's not an option now, as it would be the equivalent of a strikeout should it go foul, as this one's going to shallow left. And it will be caught there by Malillo for the first out, as Googans, the second baseman, comes to the plate.
Yeah, so that's one down here in the bottom of the first inning. Googans, Tommy, the second baseman, stepping up here. He's batting .253 on the season with 75 at-bats. He's got 19 hits, 2 doubles. He's walked 20 times, has struck out 6 times, and if he gets on base, he might steal. He's got 11 baggers so far this season. Also 18 RBI. There's a nice hit right up the middle, but it's going to be caught in center field for the second out. So he swings at the first pitch he sees, and it's another fly out to the outfield, this time to center. And now Evan Friella coming up.
Yeah, he usually plays catcher in that platoon system, but in this game he's the DH. And selling for the first pitch, that's been a bit of an issue at times for Jamestown. If it's a good pitch, I can understand that, but the same token, though, you want to make the pitcher's count stay high, not low, as the first pitch was outside for a ball. Next delivery by Isdale. This one's going. Is it good? No, just foul.
Yeah, it tailed off to the right and carried itself into foul territory for a foul ball, making the count 1-1 here. Frihella's at the batting .309 on the season, but only 55 at-bats because he's in that platoon catcher system, so it's not enough at-bats to qualify for the top 25 in the league. If it was, he would be near the top 25, just south of it. But he's got 17 hits, 9 RBIs, 6 walks, and 9 strikeouts.
Next pitch was upstairs for a 2-1 count, and even so, batting over 300 for a catcher, that's beyond outstanding. 2-1 delivery by Isdale, upstairs and outside, ball 3, so hitters count.
Yeah, he's still looking for his first base hit, though. But, hey, any hit's a good hit if it gets you on base.
That one's inside, ball 4 as it goes to the backstop, and Frahella will just take the trot to first, and it's going to be the man with the flamethrower for a bat, the oodles and noodles, Jake Kernodle coming up.
Kernodle batting .231 on the season with 65 plate appearances. He's got 15 hits, 1 triple, 2 home runs, 13 RBI, 19 walks, and 18 strikeouts. So he's walked more than he has struck out, and those 19 walks are second in the team. Googans leads the team with 20 walks.
Pick up, but Frahella gets back safely.
But yeah, Kernodle would be over 80 at-bats had he done something different than walk those 19 times.
Next pitch is fouled off. Makes an 0-1 count, and yeah, so far this season, Kernodle, he's been pretty much the responsible home run factor. He's got all but one of the team's homers. Last I know he had 2. And we saw Gagnon hit one a little more than a week ago. As Isdale gets the pitch he wants, it's an 0-1 count. Frahella's taken off, and that's going to drop into right for a base hit. Looked like he was being told to stop, but Frahella's going to go anyway, but he does get the third safely. Runners are at the corners with 2 outs, and now it's going to be Henry Juwan, the catcher, coming up the bat.
Yeah, big moment here for Juwan to try to help his team's cause. Remember, at the top of this inning, Auburn left 3 players on base. Jamestown threatening to leave 2 on with 2 outs here, or maybe they'll score the first run of the game. No runs scored so far yet here in the bottom of the first inning. Juwan can do something here. He's batting .316 with 57 plate appearances. Another catcher who is batting over .300.
Isdale's next pitch, outside corner, strike 1.
He's got 18 hits. He's got 4 doubles, 10 RBI, 8 walks, and 11 strikeouts.
Kernodle at first and Frahella at third. A chance for Jamestown to get a run here. And it's going to be a delayed steal by Kernodle, and he'll just slide, and the catcher not too worried about it as it's 2 outs, and now the count is 0-2.
That is just Coronadal's second stolen base of the season, Norm, according to my stat sheet here.
Yeah, usually power hitters, more often than not, they're not well known for playing the pilfering.
Tell that to Barry Bonds. Ooh, there's a pass ball.
And Frahella's going to score.
There you go, Jamestown.
You can take it any way you get, and there's still a chance, though, for Juwan to make the Skunks go Juwanabonga, making it 2-0, but it's still a 1-2 count, and Coronado advances over to third. Again, that pitch went to the backstop.
Yeah, a little bit wild there. The catcher for Auburn unable to stop it. James Bolton back there. So Jamestown able to capitalize.
And that one, the bat flings, and it's a swing and a miss for strike 3, and despite that, though, a pass ball gives Jamestown a run that Frahella scores. Skunks up 1-0 after 1 inning of play. Second one coming up momentarily after this on WRFA.
We'll have more live Jamestown Tarp Skunks baseball in just a moment, but right now it's time to meet one of the Tarp Skunks right here on WRFA.
My name's Will Saxon, I'm a pitcher from Holly Springs, North Carolina, and I'm a pitcher. I'm majoring in finance, and I plan to work in New York City. Favorite professional baseball team is the Phillies, and I like Kevin Gosman a lot.
Did you or do you currently play any other sports?
I do not play any other sports.
Waters.
What do you like to do when you're not playing baseball?
I love to fish and play some video games.
What's your favorite baseball memory so far?
When I won the conference championship last year in high school.
What do you like best about playing for the Jamestown Tarp Skunks?
The fans and how supportive they are. It's a great community.
This is Norm Rodriguez, voice of the Jamestown Tarp Skunks on WRFA-LP. Tune in for live play-by-play action for each home game right here on your community radio station. For a complete broadcast schedule, visit WRFALP.com/TarpSkunks. See you at the ballpark.
Top of the second about to start here as Chafee concludes his warm-up pitches, and it's the 7 through 9 hitters that are due up in Bolton, Woolley, and Dolan. And for anybody just tuning in, quick recap of the first inning. Chafee, he got into a bases-loaded jam, but he was able to get out of that, the big out being the pop out to second with the 2 outs. And meanwhile for Jamestown, they did get a run on the board off of a errant pitch that went to the backstop, and Frahella scoring from third, so that's how it scores 1-0 Jamestown.
Yeah, Chafee, through 1 inning pitch, has given up 2 hits. He's walked 1 batter, but he also has struck out 1 batter. But the big story is Auburn coming up empty-handed in that first inning, leaving 3 runners on base. We'll see if that comes back to haunt them. Right now they're trailing 1-0 as we begin the second inning of play, and stepping up to the plate will be James, don't call me Michael Bolton, the catcher, number 27.
Chafee's next pitch on the way, swung on and missed, strike 1.
Bolton, by the way, is batting a clean .300 with just 10 at-bats. He's got 3 hits, 1 RBI, 1 walk, and 4 strikeouts. Not a lot of action there. He looks at a ball coming across the plate, making the count 1-1. My broadcast partner, Norm Rodriguez, loves pop music, and he's been chomping at the bit to say something about Bolton here.
Got to throw something like that every now and again to keep it interesting as the next pitch, pogo stick in the dirt for ball 2.
I only know one song by Michael Bolton, and that is the classic How Am I Supposed to Live Without You, which was made popular in Saved by the Bell, Season 4.
Yep, when Kelly and Zach break up.
It was very sad. That was a pitch for a ball, making the count 3-1 here.
Yeah, so it's the hitter's count. It's the green light for Bolton, and he'll look to smack the ball maybe out of the park or for a base hit. We'll just see on this pitch. And it's inside for ball 4. So Bolton saying to Chafee, you may call me Michael, but you got to call me Al.
Well, Mike Woolley, the third baseman, now stepping up here, and Woolley is looking at his batting average. .242 on the season with 66 at-bats. He's got 16 hits, 4 doubles, 6 RBI, 14 walks, and 12 strikeouts.
And anticipating a bunt is Thompson, but the next pitch was called a ball as it was low.
That was Chafee's second walk, by the way, to go along with 1 strikeout and 2 hits given up in the early stages of this ball game. Remember, it's a doubleheader today, so if you're out cruising around, there is time to get down to the ballpark and check out a game. The second game should tentatively begin around 7:30. Both games will last 7 innings, barring a tie at the end of 7. Then they'll go on the 1 inning of extra innings. If I'm not mistaken, that's how the rules work.
I believe I've seen that, I believe that's how it happened last season in the game 2 of the doubleheader, which was against Auburn. But count right now 2-0. Next pitch on the way by Chafee. That hits the heart of the pipe. Strike 1.
A little bit on the humid side today. It isn't terribly hot and humid, but a little on the muggy side all the same. Overcast skies. Still no rain in the forecast, or hardly any rain. Maybe about a 20 to 30% chance of showers this evening, but nothing too crazy. Should be a good night for a ball game. In the meantime, that last pitch was outside for a ball, making the count 3-1.
Yeah, so Chafee in danger of issuing back-to-back walks. Just throw it down the middle of the plate so that way you can at least get a possibility of a strike. But a swing and a miss is even better. Count goes full.
Well, that was right down the middle. Nice little fastball down the middle here to try to get him to swing at something, and he did a little late and behind, so that'll make the count 3-2 here with a runner at first. James Bolton, the leadoff hitter here in the top of the second inning at first for the Auburn Doubledays. They're down by 1 run so far in this game 1 of the doubleheader.
And that one's high and outside, ball 4, so back-to-back free passes issued by Chafee. And with nobody out, runners on first and second, Dolan's up the bat, and the Doubledays have a chance to atone for that pitch that went to the backstop that drove home for Hella.
Yeah, Chafee usually has twice as many strikeouts as walks, but it's not going in that direction in the early stages here. He's got to settle down a little bit. We've seen him do it before. In the meantime, now he's facing Kevin Dolan.
And it's a bunt. Here's a throw over to third, and it's wide. And the run's going to score, and Monroe, the way he threw that must have been a delivery to FedEx as the tying run comes in, and so both teams get runs off mistakes.
Yeah, they obviously credited him with an error, E1 there. It would have been a fielder's choice with the play at third, and they executed it right in terms of playing up close. They saw the bunt, they read it, they came in and moved in, but Monroe just got a little too antsy there in the throw over to third, and it overthrew the third baseman and resulted in the run scoring. So James Bolton crosses the plate, and now we have runners at first and second here. Still no outs.
Yeah, and they're anticipating a bunt again, and it's aborted as it was outside for a ball. And yeah, so for anybody that wants to know what the last result was, that was an E3 on Monroe's missile. Sometimes when you throw it to your baseman for the force out, sometimes it's finesse, not strength. Well, here's the 1-0, and aborted again. Runners are going to advance, and nobody covering second because the infield was playing so tight, and now 2 runners are in scoring position, and the big thing for Auburn is 0 outs.
Yeah, number 24, Emil 34 rather, Emil Sander at the plate here for the Auburn Doubledays. We'll give you his stats in a moment, but first, let's see what Chafee can do against him with this third pitch. 2-0 the count right now. Runners at second and third, and still no outs. The game now tied 1-1.
And here's the 2-0. That one low and inside, ball 3.
Sanders, by the way, is batting .289, 38 plate appearances. He's got 11 hits, 11 walks, and 11 strikeouts. How do you like that? 11, 11, 11.
Dead even. So count 3-0 here. Here's the next pitch. And that one hits the heart of the plate. Strike 1.
Well, after Sanders, we're back to the top of the order already. So he is the final batter in this 10-man lineup for the Auburn Doubledays. Auburn has Jamestown's number. They're 4-0 so far this season against them, including a shutout way back on June 9th. And that's going to be a walk. So bases are now loaded and no outs, and we're back at the top of the lineup with Carson Gross, the shortstop, stepping up to the plate. He flew out to first on the very first pitch of the ball game. Now he has a chance to add a little something here to this second inning and possibly give his team the lead. if he walks or gets a hit, any way of getting on base will score a run.
And the good thing for Chafee is it's a force at any base. Next pitch by him on the way, and it looked like it hit him, and it did. That's going to drive in a run, another Jamestown mistake, and another run coming in for Auburn, and they take a 2-1 lead. And so far, the top of the second, it's been a disaster. Here's how it's been so far. A back-to-back walks, an E3, another walk, and now a hit by a pitch. So the Doubledays have gotten on base 3 different ways without getting a hit.
Yeah, not good, and obviously they need to settle down a little bit here, and that's why we're seeing a bit of break in action on the mound just to calm things down. Chafee here with 4 walks and a hit batter and just 1 strikeout. Of course, he's also given up 2 hits, but like you noted, Norm, no hits here in this second inning, and yet 2 runs already scored here, largely due to the error that we saw earlier on and then that hit by pitch with the bases loaded.
Yeah, and so far it is early, so obviously no action going on in the Skunk bullpen.
Meanwhile, Dolan's now at third, Sanders is at second, and Gross is at first. Thanks.
And it's going to be Hazel Martinez that's up to bat, and he got a base hit in his first appearance, and he was left stranded at third.
By the way, it's Sander, not Sanders. I keep on wanting to call him Sanders as if he's, Dion or something.
Neon Dion.
Yeah. Martinez got a base hit, by the way, his first at-bat in the first inning.
Next pitch outside, ball 1. Yeah, like you mentioned, though, before the start of the game, even though Auburn's in 4th place, they are not out of the playoff race by any means. They are only a couple games back from Jamestown, as the next pitch is inside for ball 2. So a 2-0 count, and so far for Auburn, 2 runs on 2 hits. Like, in the words of Chuck Woolery, the 2-2. As the next pitch, a delayed call, but it hits the inside corner nonetheless for strike 1.
Yeah, in spite of this pickle that Jamestown has itself in, Chafee's got to work his way out of it. Nobody warming up yet here in the top of the second inning, despite bases loaded and no outs and 2 runs already given up.
And this one's hit the left. This should be enough to drive the runner home from third, and it's going to drop. That's going to be a base hit. And the ball's right on the WRFA sign, and they were trying to say ground rule double, and that's what it's going to be. It must have hit off the top and then went back in, but nonetheless, runs are going to score here, and the Doubledays do extend their lead by 2 runs off the 2 RBI ground rule double by Martinez, and now that's 6 straight batters faced in this inning without getting an out.
Yeah, Martinez adding to his RBI total with 2 RBI there. Dolan crosses the plate to score the 3rd run, and then Sander crosses the plate to score the 4th run. So now it's 4-0 here. Gross is now at 3rd, Martinez at 2nd, and here's the pitch by Chafee, and that's going to be given a ride all the way out to left field, but well in foul territory. Out of the ballpark all the same. That was by A.J. Wenrich, the right fielder, who struck out back in the first inning. Chafee's only strikeout of the ball game so far.
I'm sure a base hit for some RBIs will more than lift up his spirits should that occur, as the next pitch was outside for a ball to even the count.
Gagnon out there in that last hit, putting his hands in the air to call for the ground rule double, but I'm not exactly sure what happened because the ball did land in bounds. It looked like it went off the top sign and then bounced back in play. Maybe it ricocheted around enough to make him think that it would have been out of play.
Yeah. Very lucky, though, he wasn't on the other end of it because the ball was visible, and sometimes the umpires will go pick that up and throw it.
Yeah, they'll go by where the ball's at, not what the outfielder thinks.
Well, here's the 2-1, and that one foul. Wenrich got a good piece of it, but count goes even 2-2.
Well, Wenrich at risk of being struck out now with 2 strikes against him along with the 2 balls. He's already been struck out once here by Chafee.
So 2-2 count. Next pitch coming up by Chafee. That one in the dirt, but a good block by Juwan. Count goes full. So our payoff pitch about to occur here for Chafee. At the minimum, Wenrich looking to just get on base, though driving in a run or two for Auburn would make it even better for them. Here's the payoff, and it's fouled off and caught by one of the players on the bench off the bounce, and we'll have a take 2 on the payoff pitch.
Yeah, just a disastrous inning so far for Jamestown. They don't even have an out yet, and it's already 4 runs scored.
It's almost like bad news bears. Here's the full count, and it's a check swing, and Monroe makes the catch and only took the 7th batter, but the Skunks do finally get an out in their favor, as now it will be Bobby Stang, and we've already seen that he's got the power.
Yeah, big Bobby Stang here hit a double in his first at-bat off of the wall, came about 6 feet lower than what he wanted to be a home run, but still an off-the-wall double here. He's looking to add to his tally now with 2 runners on. Was unable to score any runs on that double in the first inning, but could be a different story if he gets a similar hit this time around.
And it's a hot shot to third and right over to Thompson.
Fortunate there. A nice line out over to Thompson at third base to make out number 2. And Jamestown now trying to put this inning behind him after giving up 4 runs, facing Garrett Prosper, the first baseman. He walked in the first inning and was one of those 3 runners that was left stranded.
So next pitch coming up by Chafee, looking to just keep the damage as is. It's upstairs for a ball. 4 runs in this inning, though, for Auburn on just 1 hit. Again, to start it off, there were 2 walks, then an error, then another walk and a hit by a pitch before the double by Martinez that drove in a pair. Next one hits the middle of the plate, strike 1.
Nice pitch by Chafee there, and it gets a little contagious. We've seen quite a few walks from him already. 4 walks and 1 hit batter, but he does have 1 strikeout as well.
Well, here's the 1-1 delivery. Fouled off, everybody ducking. That one just missed us. And our streak for now will continue of none of them going in our area of the box as the count goes 1-2, and Chafee 1 strike away from putting the top of the second to an end. Shaking off a sign. Now he's got the one he wants, and here comes the 1-2. Outside, count goes even.
Two balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs here in the top of inning number 2.
Here's the next pitch. Fouled off again, hits off the bottom part of the press box, so Prosper fighting to keep this inning alive and extend their lead over Jamestown. So it'll be take 3 on a 2-2 pitch.
Let's see what kind of a breaking ball Chafee gives him here. We saw him swing off speed the last time he was at bat. Had a difficult time hitting Chafee.
And that one he's caught looking, strike 3 on the inside corner. Second strikeout of the game for Chafee. However, the pileup of mistakes Jamestown had in the second proved to go to Auburn's favor. 4 runs on the board on just 1 hit. And the score 4-1 as the bottom of the second will occur momentarily.
Yeah, and 2 of those runs scored even before a hit took place. So that gives you an indication of how that inning went for Jamestown. All the same, though, we are through the top of the second, the bottom of the second inning coming up here in just a moment. When we get to the bottom, it'll be Thompson, Kent, and Gagnon up to bat for Jamestown. A reminder, support for WRFA's coverage of the Tarp Skunks on WRFA is brought to you in part by the County of Chautauqua Industrial Development Agency. The Chautauqua County IDA is an economic development organization authorized and empowered by New York State to make Chautauqua County a better place to work, live, and visit. The IDA facilitates development by attracting new businesses. It also promotes the retention and expansion of existing businesses. And it offers business assistance in the forms of tax abatements, low-interest loans, and bond financing, all of which enhance the opportunities for job creation and retention across Chautauqua County. The Chautauqua County IDA is a proud supporter of Jamestown Tarp Skunk baseball on WRFA. For more information, you can call 661-8900. That's 716-661-8900, or visit ccida.com. Back to you, Norm.
Jason, as always, thank you very much. And I actually got an update on something, and this is just more of the community showing support for the Tarp Skunks team, and found this out from a friend of mine. He helps out with the foundation called AJ Strong. They bought the next 100 hot dogs for the kid fans of the team, so it's always good to see organizations like that take part in local sports like the Tarp Skunks.
Yeah, that's pretty nice gesture there. Maybe they'll sell hot dogs for the first 300 broadcasters. There's only 3 of us up here today, but.
Well, the next pitch is outside corner for strike 1 as it's Matt Thompson that's up.
Of those 4 runs, how many were earned? Would you say all 4 of them? That one batter reached base on an error, so 3 of them probably earned. Here's the pitch.
Yeah, I would think 3 because the first one was on Monroe's error, as the next pitch was called a ball, making it a 1-1 count. Here's the next pitch by Isdale. This one going into right field, chasing under it and making the catch. Had to do a little bit of a contortion there is Wenrich for the first out.
Yeah, nice job by Wenrich to track that one down. I almost thought Thompson had a beat on him on that hit, but he was able to range back there and pull it out of the air for the first out. Thompson, by the way, was batting .250 prior to that hit. Didn't get a chance to give his average there. Here comes Kent now for his first plate appearance.
Yeah, he swings and misses for strike 1, and I've said this before and I'll say it again. Don't let his batting numbers fool you. When he gets on base, he does make opponents pay.
Yeah, 18 stolen bases, and his batting average is .222. It's going to go up now with that base hit over to left field, rather. And so with 1 out, Kent finds himself on base. That's Jamestown's second hit of the ball game. And now stepping up will be Kieran Gagnon, the left fielder. Gagnon, by the way, is batting .224, 58 plate appearances, 13 hits, 2 doubles, 1 triple, 1 home run, 10 RBI, and he's got 19 stolen bases.
Yeah, Gagnon, he's come alive in the second half of the season. Got off to a shaky start, but has been blossoming ever since he became a full-time starter for the Skunks. And here's the pickoff, but back in safely is Kent. So Doubledays very well aware how the Skunks love to thieve those bases.
Yeah, Kent's got 18 stolen bases so far. That is 3rd on the team behind Gagnon as well as Grady Mee. So by the end of the season, it would stand to figure at least 3 Tarp Skunks are going to have over 20 stolen bases apiece in this shortened 2-month season.
Kent's taking off. Here comes the throw over to second, and not in time. He's safe, and yeah, if Grady Mee could get 3 more steals in the season, he'll break the young single-season record for the Skunks, as Hayden Hunt, though he had to cut his season short because of school, he had 22.
Yeah, that was back in 2021 season.
Indeed.
2 years ago.
So Kent advances to scoring position, just 1 out, and a good hit by Gagnon could cut this deficit by a run. And it's only the second inning, so still plenty of opportunities for the Skunks to come back. We've seen it happen many times before. Isdale checking on Kent. Here's another pickoff, but back in safely. Already 3 times he's been checked out. Kent off to a good lead at second. Here's the next pitch. Outside, 2-0.
Yeah, Isdale a little frustrated there. You could tell that he's a little distracted by Kent back there at second base. And he turned and looked at Kent and then released for that pitch. And I think he didn't give himself enough time to really focus on where that pitch was going. It was well outside.
2-0. There's a grounder over to third. Fielded there by Woolley, and the throw to first in time. So a big out number 2 there for the Doubledays, as now it will be Cooper Monroe, the first baseman. And he had one of the plays that's semi-forgettable, the home run that didn't exist, but it was still a 2 RBI single, but he'll look to add another one to his stat line.
Yeah, Monroe only has 3 RBI this season. He does have a runner in scoring position with 2 outs here. If he gets a hit here, in all likelihood, he may get another RBI. In the meantime, he watches that pitch cross the plate for a ball, making the count 1-0. Monroe's batting .191 on the season. He's got 47 plate appearances, 9 hits, 2 doubles, 3 RBI, 7 walks, 24 strikeouts.
He's definitely someone that's not scared to swing the bat, as he does right there. Count goes 1-1 off the swing and a miss. And, yeah, the reason why we've seen him play a lot more, he's been superb with his glove at first.
Yeah, and obviously his height gives him a great advantage with the reach. Throws that might not be right on the money, he easily catches them because of his wingspan and how much height and ground he's able to cover just by standing at first. That was a ball, so the count is now 2-1, by the way, with 2 outs here. So, invaluable with his play on defense, that's for sure, and the way he can cover first, no matter where the throws go.
And we have a timeout.
Yeah, we have a time called here as the catcher, Bolton, is going to come out and talk to the pitcher, Andrew Isdale. Isdale, by the way, has given up just 2 hits here, and he only has 1 strikeout to go along with 1 walk. So 2 hits, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. That's his number so far. Not too bad. Jamestown scored that only run back in the first inning. That was a wild pitch that Frahella was able to score on, the third batter in the lineup.
And with that, the count is 2-1 for Monroe. From telling me that stat line, he's definitely due for a hit. Maybe it's this at bat, maybe it's a little later. As this one's popped up, and Prosper fielding it and makes the catch for the third and final out of the inning. So Jamestown unable to cut into the deficit for right now. Score still 4-1 after 2 innings, and we'll have the third in just a moment right here on WRFA.
All right, Tarp Skunks fans, who out there wants the chance to win a game or Jamestown Tarp Skunks jersey? Well, this Wednesday, July 26th, we're going to be hosting our Strikeout Cancer game. And that game, we're going to be wearing these pink jerseys that I am holding. And you can have the chance to win one of these. We partner with the American Cancer Society to fundraise
their YouTube channel video stream. Our 2023 coverage of the Jamestown Tarp Skunks is made possible through funding from the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, Chautauqua Institution, and Schultz Auto Group. For a complete broadcast schedule, visit the Tarp Skunks page on the WRSA website or check out our event schedule on Facebook. You're listening to Jamestown Tarp Skunk Baseball right here on WRSA LP 107.9 FM in Jamestown.
Top of the third about to start here with the Doubledays ahead on Jamestown 4-1 as Chafee will look to have a better inning than in the second. But the batters due up, though, for Auburn. Melillo, he was the only one that didn't bat in the second. It's he, then Bolton, who started the second, and then Woolley.
Yeah, Melillo flew out to second base in the first inning. Here he is in the third inning now with his team up 4-1 against the home Jamestown Tarp Skunks. Here's the first pitch by Chafee here in the top of the third.
And it's fouled off, strike 1.
By the way, Chafee threw 2 innings pitched. He's given up 3 hits, walked 4, struck out 1, and hit 1 batter as well. Trying to improve his numbers here in the third inning. No real buddy warming up out in the bullpen yet.
As this one's popped foul out of play, 0-2. So 0-2 count. Maybe the third strikeout of the game for Chafee will regain some of his confidence. Again, the game is still young as he swings and misses for strike 3 for the third strikeout of the game for Chafee. And now it will be James Bolton, the man behind the plate for the Doubledays.
Bolton walked in the second inning to get things started, and he ended up scoring a run in the second inning, the first run of the 4. And so here he is now with his second plate appearance against Chafee.
And this is going to be a grounder. Mee's going to field it. Oh, and he hits off the top of his glove. And the runner's going to be safe, and we'll wait and see. But for me, that looks like one Mee should have had.
Yeah, I think that might be an infield base hit. We'll see what they score it, Norm. It looked like it was a slow dribbler. Even if he had fielded it cleanly, he may not have gotten the throw over in time for the out. So it may have been an infield hit all the same. But, yeah, when he flubbed it like that, they did give him the air. So it will be scored an E6 for Bolton. He gets on base via air. And now Woolley hits a Hit right up to second. There's one. There's two. Turn into double play there.
Oh, yeah, double play a la 4-6-3 style, and an unconventional 1-2-3 inning for Chafee as the score stays the same, 4-1.
Yeah, and let's thank another sponsor here, Norm. That made it a fairly quick inning for Jamestown. Fortunately for Jamestown, support for WRFA's coverage of Jamestown Tarp Skunks is brought to you in part by Chautauqua Institution. Chautauqua Institution is a community on the shores of Chautauqua Lake that comes alive every summer with a unique mix of fine and performing arts, including theater and musical entertainment, along with lectures, interfaith worship and programs, and recreational activities. The 2023 season features a variety of artists, including Patti LaBelle, The Revivalists, Band of Horses, Straight No Chaser, Mavis Staples, and more. Chautauqua Institution. For more information, call 1-800-836-2787 or visit discover.chq.org. Chautauqua Institution, sponsor of Jamestown Tarp Skunk Baseball here on WRFA, along with the Chautauqua County IDA and Schultz Auto Group. Funding for our broadcast also made possible with support from the Corporation for Public Broadcasting. Kind of hard to believe we only got two more home games after this one, Norm. This is game number, what are we at? The game number, I think, 38 on the season, if I'm not mistaken, for the Skunks. Of course, we had, I think, 24 games on the home schedule here. And so we've done 20 so far. We've got 4 more to go, including this one, the doubleheader next. And then we have 2 games later on. Wednesday, July 26th, hosting Geneva. And then the final game of the regular season, Friday, July 28th, hosting Niagara. Every game is important at the stretch, as we noted. And right now, Jamestown in the losing side of this one, but there's still plenty of baseball to play. The score is 4-1, bottom of the third inning here in Jamestown, looking to see if they can't get back in it with number 28 at the plate, Luke Fuller. He is last in the lineup, number 10, and we'll be back to the top of the order. He fouls that one back for strike one, 0-1 the count.
And yeah, Fuller, he's not only done well in the outfield, he's also done well when he's had opportunities on the belt as a pitcher as well. As the next pitch hits the outside corner, makes the count 0-2.
Yeah, Fuller does pitch once in a while. He's pitched 6 games, 5 2/3 innings pitched. He's given up only 4 hits, 6 walks, 5 strikeouts. ERA of 0.68.
And this one's hit the deep center, and Sander hustling for it, and he'll make the catch for the first out. A good lick by Fuller, but like we see a lot, just a case of that hang time.
Yeah, flying out there to center field, makes it out number 1. Now Grady Mee stepping up to the plate. He flew out to left field, his first plate appearance in the bottom of the first inning.
Yeah, so Mee looking for his first hit of the game. Jamestown, they have just 2 hits so far and 1 run. Next pitch is upstairs for ball 1. One-0 pitch by Isdale, again upstairs, 2-0. Two-0 delivery to Mee, and that one hits the heart of the plate, strike 1.
We mentioned that Grady Mee was in the top of the league in batting average. He was a mid-season all-star. That pitch was outside for a ball, by the way, making the count 3-1 here. So he definitely can get on base. We've seen him do it numerous times before. We'll see if he can do it here with 1 out, bottom of the third inning.
Well, here's a 3-1, and it's going to be a floater right to the shortstop for the second out.
So now comes Tommy Googans, who flew out to center field in the first inning for the second out of that inning. Now there's 2 away here in the third inning. Nobody on for Jamestown. Jamestown with a really rocky top of the second inning on defense. But they're not out of it by any means, only down by 3 runs here, but they got to wake their bats up here if they want to do something against Auburn.
Next pitch is outside for ball 1, and we've talked about this before throughout the season. They're known to come alive in the later part of the games here at Diethrick as the next pitch hit the outside corner to even the count. 1-1 pitch on the way by Isdale, And that one upstairs and goes past Bolton's glove, but nobody on base. No harm, no foul, 2-1 count with 2 outs. Next pitch on the way by Isdale on the 2-1 count. Outside corner, 2-2. So 2-2 count, 2 outs, and Isdale looking to respond with a 1-2-3 inning of his own. And this one's going to go into center field for a base hit. So Googans with his first hit of the game. No Google needed to look up that one, as the man responsible for scoring the only run of the game so far for Jamestown in Frahella coming back up to the plate.
Frahella walked back in the first inning and, as you noted, scored the only run here. Batting over 300 on the season. Is one of the platoon catchers that Jamestown utilizes this season. I think they have 4 different catchers they mix in back there.
As next pitch hits the outside corner for a strike, and yeah, the 4 we've seen have been Frahella, Juwan, as well as Middleman, and occasionally Alex Servia. Count here 0-1. Googans with a decent lead off the bag, and he'll head back safely off the pickoff.
Yeah, he's got a few steps more than what you typically will see a leadoff runner. 2 outs here. Wants to get himself in scoring position, but he's got to be careful.
He's taken off as it's fouled off and will go out of play for strike 2. And like you mentioned at the start of the game, Googans is one of 5 Skunk players with at least 10 stolen bases, as he has 11. But the count is 0-2 here with 2 outs in the bottom of the 3rd. Another pickoff, and Googans back in safely. Isdale getting the pitch he wants. Here's the 0-2 outside, ball 1. Googans with a good lead. He's going to take off, and another foul ball going out of play. So Frahella keeping the at-bat alive and looking to find a way to get himself and Googans in scoring position. Another pickoff, and back in safely is Googans. The thing I'm thinking, though, is when is it going to come back and haunt Isdale when he bites the bullet one too many times with these pickoffs?
Yeah, all it takes is one errant throw.
Next one's outside, 2-2. So Frahella comes back and evens the count. Here's the 2-2. Swung on and missed, strike 3. So no run score, and score will remain 4-1 with the game now 3 innings old in game 1 of this doubleheader. We'll have the 4th inning coming up after this on WRFA.
Hello, this is WRFA station manager Jason Sample with an important announcement. Beginning October 1st, 2023, WRFA will no longer be supported through funding from the Corporation for Public Broadcasting. Due to not reaching the local support threshold needed to qualify for the funding. As a result, we will be doing a programming overhaul that will include the removal of a variety of syndicated programs that were funded through the Corporation for Public Broadcasting. Between now and September 1st, WRFA will be seeking input from the community regarding the future of programming on the radio station. A link to the community survey is available on our website, WRFALP.com. Input can also be provided by using the comment section of our website. Also, for the remainder of this year and in the coming years, the station will also be ramping up its fundraising efforts, encouraging individuals and businesses who support community radio to make a contribution to our station to ensure our financial stability. Now more than ever, WRFA is relying on the support from the community to keep community radio alive and well in Jamestown. You're listening to Jamestown Tarp Skunks baseball right here on WRFA-LP 107.9 FM in Jamestown.
Top of the fourth about to start here. Score still 4-1. Auburn in the lead, and it's going to be Dolan, Sander, and then back to the top with Gross. And it appeared Auburn was going to add to their lead possibly as they had a runner on first with just one out, but Chafee got bailed out on a 4-6-3 double play as the next pitch is outside for ball one.
Yeah, so far Auburn has left 5 runners on base through 3 innings, but like you said, Norm, nice way to get out of the jam that last inning in the top of the third with a double play to end things. There's a nice hit over to Gueron in left field, or Gagnon, I mean, but he'll catch it. Gagnon. I think I called him Gueron. I guess I got to put the G in front of his first name there. All the same, nice catch by Gueron, and that is one away.
Well, that could be his alias, Gueron Cagnon.
There you go. All the same, that's one away here.
Yeah, it's Sander. He was walked in his first at-bat as the next pitch is on the outside corner for strike one. All one delivery on the way. Swing and a miss, strike two.
Chafee has only given up 3 hits and struck out 3, but he's also walked 4 and has hit a batter, but he's calmed down quite a bit since that second inning.
And here comes the 0-2. That one inside. Case of the close shave there. 1-2. Count still though in Chaffee's favor as he gets ready to throw his next pitch. That one's low. Count goes even. Two delivery on the way for Chafee. Chop foul down the third base side, and before next pitch, fans, we've hit the top of the hour. You're listening to Jamestown Tarp Skunk Baseball on WRFALP 107.9 FM in Jamestown, New York, as Chafee's in a 2-2 count versus Emil Sander, looking to get out number 2. And here comes the next pitch after shaking off a couple of signs. That one upstairs, count goes full.
Sander here at ready to walk for the second time in this ball game, unless Chafee can say otherwise. Here comes the 3-2.
And it's outside, ball 4, so that's the 5th walk issued of the game for Chafee. And we're back to the top with Gross.
So 1 out, runner at first. Gross steps up to the plate. He flew out in the first inning over to third base, or first base rather, and then he was hit by a pitch in the second inning and left stranded at third.
Next pitch on the way by Chafee, swung on and missed for strike one.
Gross, by the way, comes from Folsom, California. Plays for the University of Northern Colorado, all the way over here in the Empire State, playing this summer in the Perfect Game Collegiate Baseball League. Chafee sends the runner at first back over. Kind of a nonchalant pick-off attempt. You're not going to see a big leadoff against Chafee, who's throwing left-handed and facing first base.
Runner goes. Here's the pitch. Outside. Looked like a pitch out, but Juwan didn't get a clean handle of the ball, so it's better to hold it than have a bad throw going to center field.
Yeah, Sander had a really good jump on that, too. I think he's got Chafee's wind-up timed out really well. And it is a little bit longer before the release than what a typical pitcher's windup is, and that buys the base runner a little bit more time.
Next pitch, it's going to go over to second. Googans fields it. A pump fake, throw over to first in time, and very fortunate that it beat him by a step because that pump could have nearly cost him the out.
Yeah, I'm not sure what he was thinking there, but an out's an out all the same, and that's 2 away here. But the runner, Sander, is now all the way over at third, so he's 90 feet away from scoring the 5th run of the ball game for Auburn. Right now the score is 4-1 here in the top of the 4th inning. Auburn leading Jamestown, facing Hazel Martinez, who has a good game so far today. He's got a base hit and a double, driving in 2 of the 4 runs in this ball game.
And got to give credit where credit's due. Right now and looks like they're going to intentionally walk him so that way they'll have the force out at second. Not a bad idea. And it'll be Wenrich coming up to bat. And I can understand why as well because Martinez, he's been hunting the skunk tails and hanging them up over the fireplace while sitting on the recliner drinking a cup of coffee. And Wenrich, he'll be looking for his first hit.
Yeah, he's 0 for 2, struck out in the first inning and flew out in the second inning. Here's the pitch from Chafee, and the runner's going to go. So much for the forced play at second here. With first base being open, we have runners at second and third with 2 outs here in the top of the 4th inning. And the count is 1-0.
A base hit could possibly break this game open the way we have seen it so far. Next pitch is low and outside, but again, Juwan with a nice catch, making it 2-0. So Wenrich ahead in the count as Chafee gets the sign he wants. And here's the delivery. And this one is hit to shallow left, and that was a torpedo as Gagnon under it, but making the catch is Kent, so I would presume good communication there to avoid he and Gagnon going down like a 7-10 split. But no runs on the board, and another shutout inning in the books for Chafee. Score remains 4-1.
Yeah, a little bit more than a shallow hit, Norm. That was almost to the warning track, but all the same, a fly out, and that'll end the inning. Jamestown coming up here in just a moment when we begin the bottom of the 4th inning, and it will be Kernodle, Juwan, and Thompson at the plate. Support for WRFA's coverage of the Jamestown Tarp Skunks is brought to you in part by Schultz Auto Group. Schultz Auto Group, celebrating over 50 years serving automotive needs of the greater Jamestown, New York community with an excellent customer buying and ownership experience. All repair facilities have experienced and factory-trained technicians with state-of-the-art equipment for all automotive needs, no matter what engine type, gas, diesel, or electric. Schultz Auto Group, a proud supporter of Tarp Skunk Baseball on WRFA for the past 3 seasons. For more information, you can call 1-866-931-2998 or visit schultzauto.com.
And with that, the batters due up for Jamestown as Isdale gets warmed up. It's going to be 4 through 6. Kernodle, Juwan, and Thompson. And while we're waiting, I just got to say this. I miss hearing Take Me Out to the Ball Game. It seems like it's been an eternity since we've heard it here.
You're talking about the 7th inning stretch when they typically will play this classic baseball song of all classic baseball songs that Harry Carey would sing. And, of course, that dates all the way back to the late 19th century. That song, you'd rather hear that than Sweet Caroline by Neil Diamond. I don't even know why they play Sweet Caroline. That's a Boston thing, right?
Yeah, we're not in Boston, Massachusetts. We're
Last
in
I
Jamestown,
checked,
New York.
yeah. Hey, nothing against friends in Boston, but we're not in Boston here. I don't know why they play that.
I would have settled for We're Coming to America Today as Kernodle fouls off the first pitch for a strike 1. So 0-1 pitch coming up for Isdale. That one inside for a ball. Bolton tried to frame it, but the home plate umpire wasn't buying it. One delivery outside, 2-1.
Might see some warm-ups here in the Auburn bullpen a little bit later on in this bottom part of the 4th inning, if not in the 5th inning.
Yeah, and it's Simon Aluko. I did get a view of the number. It was 24.
Yeah, we've seen Aluko pitch here before.
Yeah, he actually got a save in one of the games. And like you and I have mentioned, Auburn, they've had Jamestown's number all year. They're 4-0 versus them coming into this. Next pitch is outside, and count goes full.
Kernodle, by the way, got that base hit in the first inning, what was left stranded at third base. Yeah, Auburn beat Jamestown on June 9th, 7-0. They beat Jamestown on July 14th, 5-4, and they beat them in the recent doubleheader.
And Kernodle's caught looking for strike 3, and that's another strikeout for Isdale. That's his 3rd of the game. And now it will be Henry Juwan, the catcher.
Juwan struck out in the first inning, his only plate appearance so far in this game 1 of the 2-game doubleheader today.
Yeah, taking a look, though, because I see you got the scores written, and 3 of the games were just by 1 run, so they haven't necessarily been blowouts.
No, they're not rolling over for Auburn by any means. I think it's just some bad breaks for the Tarp Skunks this year against the Doubledays. These are the final 2 games they're going to play against Auburn this season as well, this doubleheader. So they're only going to play 6 times this year, but Auburn is 4-0 so far against Jamestown.
And
there's a nice hit past the first baseman, and that will allow Juwan to get on base with just 1 out here. We'll score that one a hit. I'm sure they will in the press box as well. I don't think that would be an error.
Nah, it bounced over his glove.
Yeah, definitely. 4 hits now for Jamestown. Down by 3 runs, though, 4-1 the score. Matt Thompson stepping up. He flew out to right field his first time at the plate back in the 2nd inning.
Yeah, so Juwan with the single gets on first and Thompson up the bat. And already some activity going on in the bullpen. Ryan Rafalski playing a little bit of regular catch to get the arm loose as the next pitch hits the strike zone on the outside corner for strike 1.
Thompson, by the way, was batting .250 coming into the season today. I don't think I got his numbers rolled up the last time he was at bat. 16 hits, 2 doubles, 8 RBI, 8 walks, 11 strikeouts.
0-1 pitch coming for Isdale. And that's going to drop into shallow right field. Base hit. Juwan's going to head for third. And the throw gets cut off there. Cut off by Gross, and runners at the corners with just 1 out. This is a chance here for Jamestown to cut into the deficit, as now it will be Kieran Gagnon, or no, excuse me, Zach Kent, the center fielder.
Yeah, definitely Isdale is hittable. That's the 5th hit he's given up to the Tarp Skunks so far here. And now Jamestown has runners at the corners with Juwan at third and Thompson at first. Zach Kent stepping up. He got a base hit back in the 2nd inning and made it all the way to second before being stranded. Jamestown has a chance now to cut into this 3-run lead against the Auburn Doubledays.
I wonder within the next couple pitches they possibly have Thompson try to steal, as this one's popped up. And under it and making the catch is Dolan for out number 2. So still a chance for Jamestown to get a run on the board as Gagnon comes up the bat.
Yeah, Kieran Gagnon is 0 for 1. He grounded out back in the 2nd inning. He can be clutch, though. He doesn't really seem like the kind of batter who gets stressed out in pressure situations, you know. Always tends to be pretty even keel.
Before going to the box, though, some signals from Coach Bazil as Isdale checks Thompson at second. Here's the next pitch. Outside corner, strike 1.
Nice fastball right down the middle. I don't know if he's going to do that again to Gagnon or not. Definitely not this pitch.
We'll count 0-1. Next delivery on the way, and that one low, ball 1.
Yeah, a bit low and inside as well. Came in with a little bit of heat, though. I guess we could say he delivered 2 fastballs in a row. We'll see what he does here with this 3rd pitch against Gagnon with the count 1-1. 2 outs, runners at the corners for Jamestown. They're down by 3 runs, 4-1 here in the bottom of the 4th inning of a 7-inning game 1 of 2-game doubleheader.
Yeah, and there was a pickoff, but Thompson did get back in safely. Next pitch on the way, it's going to go over to short, and he'll go for the force out at second. So that's going to conclude 4 innings, and Jamestown a missed opportunity to cut into the deficit. 3 innings to go here in quote-unquote regulation play in this doubleheader. Score still 4-1. We'll have the 5th inning after this on WRFA.
Thanks, Jerry. I'm down here tonight. Jamestown Tarp Skunks Disney Ball. I am down here with. And I'm down here with Bishop and Caleb. What they have to do is take these bats that we just gave them, spin 15 times, counted by Christian and Zach, and then they're going to get the ball and they're going to shoot it into the hoop. But here's the catch.
Broadcast for all home games on their YouTube channel video stream. Our 2023 coverage of the Jamestown Tarp Skunks is made possible through funding from the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, Chautauqua Institution, and Shell Sauber. For complete broadcast schedules, visit Tarp Skunks News on the WRFA website or check out our event schedule
This is
on
it. Green pass
Facebook.
over here. Gotta speed it up on this side. He's gonna keep busy. 1-0 now.
Rodriguez, voice of the Jamestown Tarp Skunks on
One more
WRFA.
spin. Bishop's
Tune in
in.
for live play-by-play action for each home
Oh,
game
he makes
right
it.
here on
That's
your
it.
radio station.
Bishop,
For a
we'll
complete
see you in the
broadcast
gut
schedule,
smacker.
visit WRFALP.com/TarpSkunks. See you at the ballpark.
Top of the fifth about to start here, and score still 4-1. And I just gotta say, besides the second inning, which Chafee had some trouble, ever since then, he's looked like his normal self.
Yeah, Chafee has pitched now 4 complete innings. He's given up only 3 hits, but he's also given up 6 walks and 1 hit batter, and that's made all the difference to go along with 2 runs committed, or 2 errors, I should say, committed by the Tarp Skunks. He struck out 3 batters as well. Not a bad outing. He's settled down definitely since that second inning.
Here's the next pitch. It's high and outside, ball 1. And yeah, out of the 4 runs, 3 of them were earned because the first one scored off of an error. So it's not all on Chafee, though. There's also been no run support for him by any means. As the next pitch is on the way, and Stang gives that ball a sting, but it's going to go foul for strike 1.
Yeah, Bobby Stang hit a double in the first inning that went all the way to the wall, and he lined out to third base in the second inning. So he's 1 for 2 here. Cleanup hitter for the Auburn Doubledays, batting in the 4 spot.
Here's the 1-1, and that one low, but Juwan again, a nice catch, making it a 2-1 count.
Auburn has left 7 runners on base so far in this ball game through 4 innings.
Well,
it
here's
could
the
be a
next
lot
pitch.
worse is what I'm saying.
Very true. As the next one is swung on and foul tipped for strike 2, and I do stand corrected. It's a 1-2 count, not a 2-2. Next pitch, though, coming on the way for Chafee. Oh, got him with the off speed there on the changeup. Strike 3, and Chafee making sure that Stang gets stung by the killer bees.
Yeah, the second time he got a batter looking here. His 4th strikeout overall tonight. And a nice way to start this 5th inning here with a strikeout against the cleanup hitter for the opponent, Bobby Stang. So now comes Garrett Prosper, the first baseman. He walked in the first inning and struck out looking back in the second.
And next pitch hits the inside corner for strike 1. Gets the pitch he wants. Here's the next delivery. Fouled off, strike 2. So 0-2 pitch, fouled off again going into the left field bleachers. Another 0-2 pitch for Evan Chafee. That one's slightly upstairs, 1-2.
Yeah, a little outside as well here, but still well ahead in the count. 1-2 the count here with 1 out. Chafee trying to put Prosper away for the second time here via strikeout.
And he got him looking, strike 3. Back-to-back at bats for Prosper where he's caught looking, and once again probably going to that dugout and yelling out, "Con!"
Yeah, the change up there looks pretty nasty when he's got it working, Chafee. Now he's got 5 strikeouts on the day through 4 and 2/3 innings work.
And Melillo is now up to bat, and he swings and misses for strike 1. He wanted the gondola, but what was denied?
Well, he flew out in the first inning, but he struck out in the 3rd inning as well. So Chafee's already got his number once here tonight. We'll see if he can't strike him out yet again and strike out 3 batters in a row.
0-1 outside corner, strike 2. Yeah, he was saying that, Jason. He's got a chance to strike out the side.
Can he do it with all 3 being backward Ks? That's the question.
As long as it's all strikeouts, I'm sure he will happily take it. Here's the 0-2, fouled off. So Melillo will get to see another pitch, and the runs combined total, they were scored within the first 2 innings. Besides that, it's been donut holes all around. But here's another 0-2 by Chafee. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and Chafee strikes out the side. He's on fire now. Third straight shutout inning for him, and the score remains 4-1.
And coming up in just a moment, Jamestown batters will be facing off against the Auburn Doubledays. We've got Cooper Monroe, Luke Fuller, and then back up to the top of the order with Grady Mee in the lineup here in the bottom of the 5th inning. But first, let's thank one of our sponsors here, and support for WRFA's coverage of Jamestown Tarp Skunk baseball is brought to you in part by the County of Chautauqua Industrial Development Agency. The Chautauqua County IDA is an economic development organization authorized and empowered by New York State to make Chautauqua County a better place to work, live, and visit. The IDA facilitates development by attracting new businesses. It also promotes the retention and expansion of existing businesses, and it offers businesses assistance in the forms of tax abatements, low-interest loans, and bond financing, all of which enhance the opportunities for job creation and retention across Chautauqua County. The Chautauqua County IDA, a proud supporter of Jamestown Tarp Skunk baseball on WRFA. For more information, call 716-661-8900 or visit ccida.com.
Yeah, and with that, Isdale's preparing to get another inning of work in, and like you said, Monroe, Fuller, and Mee are due up, and they've got to give Chafee some run support. He's pulled his weight ever since that 2nd inning, and back in the top half of the 5th, he struck out the side for anybody that's just tuning in or that didn't see the 5th inning because maybe doing a quick thing, mowing your lawn or whatever, but score's still 4-1, not an insurmountable deficit, and that's something the Skunks thrive in, the pressure cooker situations, and with this being a 7-inning game, technically, this is the start of it.
Yes, it is, and Isdale is still on the mound here for the bottom of the 5th inning, so he's going to begin his 5th inning of work here. He's, so far through 4 innings, has given up 5 hits to Jamestown, 1 run, which was earned, also 1 walk to go along with 3 strikeouts. But Jamestown has had opportunities. They've left 4 runners on so far here. And again, we noted there's a nice hit all the way to
left field.
Get
out of here. It's gone. This time, this one counts. Cooper Monroe with the gondola and nobody ahead of him to get in front of. A solo shot for Monroe, his first of the year, and that cuts the deficit in half. Just from that smack, it was possible, and it sailed out of here, and that's the 5th home run we've seen here in Diethrick this year.
Yeah, the 5th home run and the 2nd home run by Cooper Monroe we've seen, but of course we talk about it all the time. It was a home run that wasn't because they took it away from him when he passed one of his own players on the base paths, and so it only counted as a single rather than a home run. But all the same, he exhibited power earlier this year, and he did so right there and gets his team back in it here and cuts the lead down to 2 runs here in the bottom of the 5th inning.
Next pitch hits the outside corner for a strike as Fuller is up to bat.
Yeah, Fuller flew out back in the 3rd inning in his only plate appearance. He is last in the order before we get back up to the top. A nice way to start this 5th inning, though. As we noted, Jamestown is a second-half ball club. We've seen it all season, and we're starting to get a whiff of it right now here in this ball game, game 1 of a doubleheader.
Yeah, and Jamestown, like we've mentioned, they're also looking for their first win against Auburn this year. But they've already gotten it together a little bit with Monroe's solo shot to start the bottom of the 5th. Let's see if Fuller can get on base as he swings and misses for a 1-2 count. One-two delivery by Isdale. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So for Isdale, that's going to be his 4th strikeout of the game. And with that, we're back to the top of the order.
Yeah, Grady Mee stepping up here. He is 0 for 2 so far tonight, the leadoff hitter for Jamestown and one of the top hitters in the league this year. Quiet today, but he can make some noise here with a hit with just 1 out. His team down 2 runs, 4-2 the score. There's a nice bunt lay down, but it goes down the third base line, and out of play in foul territory, so he'll do it again.
If he can get on base, we could start seeing some interesting things. But the first thing he's got to do is get on base by any means. Here's the 0-1 by Isdale. That one high, ball one. 1-1 delivery on the way by Isdale as it is a ball outside.
So you saw me pull my binoculars out there, Norman. I was looking down at the batter. I just wanted to make sure I saw correctly. Luke Fuller doesn't really wear traditional batting gloves. He actually has work gloves that he wears.
Oh, yeah, I did notice that as the next pitch is called a strike as it hit the heart of the dish. So
I just wanted to make sure my eyes weren't deceiving me. But, yeah, he just wears work gloves when he's down there at bat. But all the same, back to the action here with Grady Mee. 2-2 the count.
Isdale shook off a couple of signs, but here's the next pitch. Swung on and missed, strike three. So that's called having a short memory. Gave up a home run to start the inning. Since then, back-to-back strikeouts as Googans comes up.
Yeah, 5 strikeouts now for Andrew Isdale. And Tommy Guggen stepping up. He is 1 for 2. He got a base hit back in the third inning, flew out to center field back in the first inning. Nobody on here for Jamestown. 2 outs, 4-2 the score. Bottom of the 5th inning.
Yeah, Guggen's looking to get his second hit in as many at-bats. Outside for ball one. And this is a little something I meant to tell you. If Jamestown gets either one of these games, if they can at least sweep or split, they would have 1 win more than they had all of last year. They've already hit the mark at 21, as the next pitch was low and outside for ball 2.
I did not know that, Norm.
Next one hits the outside corner, 2-1. And more activity going on in the Jamestown bullpen. It appears to be Colin Houck that's warming up as the next pitch is fouled off to make the count 2-2 with 2 outs. The triple deuces. Two-two delivery by Isdale. Outside, full count. Frahella would be up next if Guggens gets on base. Shaking off a sign, but gets the one he wants. Here's the payoff. It's going to be a chopper. Goes over to short, and the throw in time for the third out. But good news, Skunks fans, they do cut into the deficit off the gondola by Cooper Monroe. Cuts it in half, 4-2. 6th inning coming up after this on WRFA.
Support for WRFA is brought to you in part by listeners like you. WRFA LP is a non-profit, listener-supported community radio station. While some of our operational funding is provided by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, we also depend on local residents, businesses, and organizations in our listening area who believe in the vital public service WRFA provides through its arts and education programming, as well as through our coverage of local news and public affairs. Plus, your generous support lets us provide a number of volunteer-based programs to be shared on our airwaves. Help keep community radio in Jamestown and Chautauqua County alive by making a contribution today. To make a tax-deductible donation or learn more about becoming a station underwriter, use the donate page on our website, WRFALP.com, or send a check to WRFA Radio, 116 East 3rd Street, Jamestown, New York. Or you can call 716-664-2465. You're listening to Jamestown Tarp Skunks Baseball, right here on WRFALP 107.9 FM in Jamestown.
Top of the 6th about to start here, and Chafee staying on the way he's been the last 3 innings. Why not? He's been doing very well ever since the 4 runs scored in the second by Auburn, as the next pitch was outside for a ball, as James, not Michael Bolton, the catcher, is up to bat.
Yeah, Bolton walked in the second inning and reached base on an error in the third inning. Also scored one of the 4 runs so far tonight for the Doubledays. They are in the lead 4-2 with 2 more innings left to play in this game 1 of the doubleheader.
Well, here's the 2-0 by Chafee. Outside, ball 3.
Chafee has 6 walks to go along with 6 strikeouts. He also hit a batter. So he's given 7 free passes so far tonight.
Next pitch is an outside corner for strike one, and also one of those walks was an intentional base on balls.
Very true. Thanks for making note of that.
Well, here's a 3-1 pitch by Chafee. Outside, ball 4. So another walk issued by Chafee, and once again, we might as well just pull in the cars and have a drive-in movie. As now it will be Michael Woolley, the third baseman.
Yeah, Woolley walked in the second inning and scored a run and hit into a double play in the third inning that really helped to help the Tarp Skunks gain a little bit of momentum here in the middle of this ball game.
As the next pitch was low and outside for ball 1. Auburn, they're looking to at least get back the run that they gave up on the home run by Monroe back in the bottom half of the 5th. But they still have a 2-run lead as the next pitch is on the way by Chafee. Right down the pipe, strike 1.
And we got a little bit of showers coming down here, sunny showers because the sun is shining, but there must be a rain cloud directly above us because we got a few sprinkles falling, Norm, here in the top of the 6th inning.
I'm sure it feels refreshing, though, for the players that are on the field. This one is hit to center, and Kent backpedaling, and he will make the catch. Da-da-da-da. No cape required for the first out of the inning.
Yeah, and Bolton will stay on first base, obviously. Now comes Kevin Dolan, the second baseman, who reached base on an error in the second inning and ended up scoring, and he flew out in the 4th inning.
Oh, we also just got a score update. Elmira, they were taking on the Newark Pilots, and Newark walked off on them. Final score was 12-11 as the next pitch hits the outside corner for strike 1.
Well, that bodes well. Now Elmira is 24-15. Jamestown came into this game with 21-14 record. I don't think it'd be enough for Jamestown to leapfrog them if they win a game today, but if they win both games today, it most certainly would.
This could be 2, 6, 4. Not quite, but at least they get the out at second for the second out. So that will be ruled a fielder's choice there on Dolan. And now it will be Sander, who has gotten on base both times he's been at bat.
Yeah, he walked both times. Both walks out of the 7 walks we've seen so far tonight by Chafee. Sander, the bottom of the order. Carson Gross will be on deck, the leadoff hitter for the Doubledays. Runner at first with 2 outs here, top of the 6th inning.
And it's swung on a miss for strike 1. And the sprinkling looking like it's starting to cool down as the pickoff maneuver is unsuccessful, and back in safely is Dolan. Oh, 1, no pickoff, and again back to the bag is Dolan. Oh, 1 pitch. That one a ball's it pogoed in the dirt, but a good block by Juwan.
Yeah, hit right off of the plate and then bounced up to Juwan. Good job keeping it in front of him here.
Chafee getting the sign. 1-1 is fouled off to the Skunks dugout, making the count 1-2. So 1-1 count with 2 outs, runner on first, or 1-2 count. Here's the next pitch. Inside. Again, though, Juwan able to block it.
Yeah, this brief shower that's occurring right now doesn't look like it's going to stick around much. Not really a lot of clouds coming in from the west. Overcast skies, but not a lot of rain in the forecast.
And a swing and a miss for strike 3, and another strikeout for Chafee, and that's 4 consecutive shutout innings for him as the score remains 4-2. Skunks down to their last 6 outs in game 1 of this doubleheader.
Yeah, that's now 7 strikeouts for Chafee on the day to equal the number of walks he's given up. Of course, one of those was intentional. And we've got Frahella, Coronado, and Juwan coming up in the bottom of the 6th inning of this 7-game game 1 of today's doubleheader. Let's thank another one of our sponsors, Norm. Support for WRFA's coverage of the Jamestown Tarp Skunks is brought to you by Chautauqua Institution. Chautauqua Institution is a community on the shores of Chautauqua Lake that comes alive every summer with a unique mix of fine and performing arts, including theater and musical entertainment, along with lectures, interfaith worship and programs, and recreational activities. The 2023 season features Patti LaBelle, The Revivalist, Band of Horses, Straight No Chaser, Trombone Shorty, Mavis Staples, and many, many more. Chautauqua Institution. For more information on all events and activities, simply go online to discover.chq.org, or you can call 1-800-836-2787. That's 1-800-836-ARTS.
And with that, we do got a call to the bullpen, and end of the day for Isdale, and overall solid performance for him, but now it's going to be a relief pitcher that has been an Achilles heel for Jamestown when we've seen him pitch, Simon Aluko.
Well, Isdale, by the way, through 5 innings pitched, gave up 6 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned runs. He only walked 1 batter and struck out 5. So, yeah, a nice day for him. 6 hits. The last hit he gave up was a home run, of course, to Cooper Monroe, a solo home run that gave Jamestown 2 runs. But taking a look now at the stats for our pitcher from Auburn, Aluko, he's been in 7 games, all of which in relief work. He's had 13.1 innings of relief, given up only 2 hits, 6 runs, however, 5 of them earned. The reason why he's given up so many runs in spite of only 2 hits, he's walked 14. He's also struck out 26, and he has won 1 game. His ERA comes in at 3.38. So he's striking out nearly twice as many batters as he walks. That's the numbers there, and he is definitely a reliever. We saw him in relief the last time Auburn played here, and he did a great job. Jamestown was able to bounce back and get in it, but they came up a little short. They did give Aluka some credit, or some problems there. I think primarily what they ended up doing in that game, Norm, is they walked quite a bit, but he eventually got out of a jam, and they ended up winning the game about a week and a half ago.
So Frahella coming up the bat, and a first hit of the game for him could be a good start for a skunk rally.
Frahella is 0 for 1. He walked in the first inning, struck out in the 3rd inning.
Aluko's first pitch is swung on and missed for strike 1, and
yeah, nice fastball right there.
yeah, you talked about this with me the last time we saw him pitch. He's kind of got the happy feet double pump before he throws his pitch. 0-1 is in the dirt, but a good block there by James. I still can't believe it's not Michael Bolton.
He's got a little leg shuffle there, where if this was Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, that old video game, you would know when to counter with whatever he's doing, because he has that little tell that he does before every pitch, just a little double foot shuffle.
1-1 pitch, that one in the dirt for a 2-1 count, and last 2 we've seen, maybe he's doing the south side shuffle. But Frahella is ahead now in the count, 2-1.
Precipitation continuing to come down here. Nobody really seems too phased. There's still folks sitting in the bleachers.
Well, after some heat waves, a little rain does feel nice. But here's the 2-1 by Aluko, and it looked like it hit him, but I guess not. It goes to the backstop, ball 3. From my view, it looked like it got him in the leg. But again, the umpire has the better view. Here's a 3-1 by Aluko. Inside, ball 4, so Frahella will walk for the 2nd time. And this could be a start of something here for Jamestown. This is what they thrive in, the high-pressure situations, as another guy that's got some pop. He leads a team with 2 long balls, Jake Kernodle. Maybe he's due for a 3rd one here to tie this bad boy up. He does represent the tying run right now.
Yeah, Kernodle got a base hit in the first inning, struck out looking in the fourth inning. Jamestown with one runner on here and no outs in the bottom of the sixth. And the rain's coming down a little bit heavier now, Norm.
Well, here's the next pitch, and that's right down Broadway for strike one. Personally, though, I think this will only be momentary.
Yeah, like I said, it doesn't look like there's dark clouds on the horizon or anything. It's just one of those mid-afternoon showers you get this time of year.
Next pitch is a strike on the inside corner, making it 0-2.
Like I said, it was a little humid today, and this is probably the result of that humidity. So the 0-2 count here against Kernodle with a runner at first and no outs. Jamestown down by 2. Here comes the pitch.
Oh, that's a balk. Aluko lost his balance as he was throwing the pitch, and even if it's inadvertent, it's still a balk. So that's big. That eliminates the double play possibility.
Sure does, and puts a runner in scoring position.
We've actually, though it's rare, we've seen quite a few balks this season. Next one's inside, and Frahella's going to head over to third. It goes to backstop. He's going to head home. And here's a flip to Aluko, and he's going to be out. He would have been better off staying at third. I don't know what was going on. And from Jordan Bazille's reaction, I think he ignored a stop sign.
Yeah, no outs. You're going to be on third base. You're down by 2 runs. Don't risk it. Frahella, he may have thought that the pitcher wasn't paying attention and wasn't going to be able to get there in time, but it's a lot shorter distance for that pitcher to get to home plate than it is for you at third base. Just stay there, especially with no outs. A major base running there, and Jamestown a missed opportunity to get back in this one and cut that lead down to 1.
As Kernodle fouls it off to keep it a 1-2 count, and I couldn't have said it any better. The only way I would have said it was just bad base running. And one of the rules of thumb when you're on the base is if you have the discretion to tag up or ignore the sign, you've got to be able to exercise restraint, and that obviously was not shown there. But here's the 1-2, and that one's low, ball 2, and Kernodle came pretty close to doing a check swing, but he was able to abort, and the count's even. Count even now at 2-2. Here comes Aluko's next pitch. And that's going to be a grounder over to short. Throw to first. Foot off the bag. He's going to be safe. And had Frahella stayed at third, that could have been 4-3. So hopefully Jamestown can take advantage of Kernodle being at first base. There is just 1 out, and they still got 5 more to go to come back from 2 runs down.
Well, Henry Juwan stepping up now. He struck out in the first inning, got a base hit back in the 4th inning.
And from what I see, they do rule that an infield single. But here comes the next pitch by Aluko, and that's down the pipe for a strike. So count 0-1 here. Kernodle, he does have a steal on the season. That one skips to its loo in the dirt, but Bolton able to block it. 1-1 count now with just 1 out and Kernodle at first. One delivery on the way, and that one called the ball. I thought that was enough to be a strike 2, but it goes Jamestown's way, and you take that.
Yeah, it looked like a changeup that went across the plate there, maybe a little bit too high, and that's the reason why they called it. I'm not exactly sure where it was at out of the strike zone. Looked good from up here, but we'll take it.
2-1, that one's low and inside ball 3, and the rain's starting to stop here, just turning into little sprinkles.
So if Juwan can get walked here, Aluko, who's coming in relief in the 6th inning, will have allowed the first 3 batters he faced to get on base, which is promising for Jamestown, but a squandered opportunity with Frahella getting thrown out at home, getting a little too greedy on a pass ball.
And that one upstairs, ball 4, so Juwan will jump in the line and head over to first, and he represents the tying run at it, and the possible go-ahead run coming up to bat is Matt Thompson, as the Doubledays will have a conference on the mound, the meeting of the minds.
Yeah, they're going to come out there and just try to settle Aluko, because like I said, every batter he's faced has reached base safely, either by a walk or a base hit. Frahella, leading off the bottom of the sixth inning, reached base on ball, stole second base, was able to reach third on a passed ball, and then he thought the pitcher wasn't going to cover home, so he thought he could beat the pitcher there. But unfortunately, the pitcher got there in time, and the catcher Bolton was able to make the throw back to the pitcher at home plate to tag Frahella out, much to the chagrin of Coach Jordan Bazile, who I think is still shooting a side glance at Frahella every once in a while. Disappointed, but hey, maybe he can put that all behind him here. And I think Bazile has a pinch runner he's going to send in here.
Yeah.
We'll see what
Paul Catalano. Oh, yeah, I saw number 13, and he's got the helmet on, and he's got good base speed.
So he'll put Catalano in for Juwan, you think?
Or it looks like it could be for Kernodle.
Kernodle's at second.
Well, it looked like he was about to run that direction, and it appears it's going to be for Kernodle.
Pitch running at second, number 13 from Fairfield University, Paul Catalano.
Personally, I like this move. He's now in scoring position in place of Kernodle, and if a hit can go into the mid part of the outfield, he's got the speed to head to home.
Well, only one out here, all the same, and Aluko has yet to get any batters out, unless you count the runner that he tagged at home in Frahella. But we've got Matt Thompson now at the plate. He flew out in the second inning, got a base hit in the fourth inning. One of 6 hits Jamestown's gotten so far tonight.
Next pitch is swung on and missed for strike one. Again, Juwan represents the tying run, and Thompson the possible go-ahead run as he is at bat. Count just 0-1. Aluko checks Catalano at second. Here's the pitch, and strike on the outside corner, and now it's got to be where anywhere in the zone, you've got to wave the bat at it. It's that point of the game where it's no choice. You have to wave it if it's around the zone. Even if it's a foul, you can see more pitches. But Aluko's got the one he wants. Here's the 0-2. Inside, 1-2. So again, count 1-2 here. Aluko gets the sign. Long look at second. Here's the pitch. And swing and a miss, strike 3. So that's a big out, number 2 there for Simon Aluko. And now it will be Zach Kent. And Kent will look for hit number 2.
Yeah, the 27th strikeout for Aluko in just his 14th inning of work this season. So he's definitely known for the Ks, and we saw it right there. But, hey, Jamestown still has a chance with runners at first and second and 2 outs here. And Zach Kent did get a base hit in the second inning off a starting pitcher, Isdale.
Next pitch on the way outside, ball 1.
Kent also flew out in the 4th inning.
Skunks down to their last 4 outs. They need to get a run going now. Here's the next pitch. It's low and inside. Count goes 2-0. So Kent ahead in the count. Aluko looking for that pitch to force the 3rd out. Next pitch on the way. Swung on and missed. Strike 1. Still in Kent's favor, though. Count is 2-1 with 2 outs. And again, Catalano is at second after coming in as a pinch runner for Kernodle, and Juwan is at first. Here's the 2-1. Inside, ball 3.
If Ken is able to get on base, Gagnon is in the batter's box on deck. Jamestown down by 2 runs here in the bottom of the 6th inning, 4-2 the score. Only 7 innings in this game because it is game 1 of a doubleheader.
Here's a 3-1. That's low, ball 4, so the bases are going to be loaded here, and that's even more of an effect as well off the tag out of home by Frahella trying to take it, but they still got one more out to use in this inning, and Gagnon, he's coming up the bat, and
yeah, he's due. He's 0 for 2, grounded out in the 2nd inning, had a fielder's choice to end the 4th inning, but he does have a chance here to help his team out and do something against Aluko.
This is a big chance here. A good base hit could possibly tie this game, or even the lead if it's deep enough to where Kent can go from first to home. You and I both know he's got the wheels. Here's Aluko's next pitch. Outside, ball 1.
You know, Aluko's walked 3 batters so far in this game, so let him throw you some pitches. It looks like he's having a hard time finding that strike zone, and a walk is just as good as a hit with a bases-loaded situation here. The umpire giving some kind of talk to Aluko. I think he's telling him he has to step off the rubber in between pitches. I'm not sure what he was saying there. All the same, back to the action here. Here comes the 1-0.
There's delivery. Gagnon swings and misses for strike 1, but that's one, even if he wouldn't have swung at it, that was in the zone.
Yeah, that was a fastball right down the middle. And as we noted, Aluko now with 27 strikeouts on the season in just 14 innings of work, you know that he can bring the heat and put some batters out.
Here's the 1-1, and another swing and a miss, strike 2.
That one was just a little bit off speed.
And
it wasn't quite nearly as fast.
And Powell talking to the home plate umpire, I think it's about a possible fast pitch in between getting the ball back from the catcher. We haven't seen any ejections here so far this season. But here's the 1-2 pitch on the way by Aluko. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and it all started with Frahella's base running gaffe, and they had a chance with the bases loaded, but it's another missed opportunity. And now Auburn, they have a chance to put some insurance runs on the board with 6 complete. Score still 4-2. 7th inning coming up after this on WRFA.
Pearl City Clay is offering family wheel experience classes this summer. You'll throw pottery on the wheel, and a Pearl City Clay House instructor will guide you through each step, making it super fun and easy. Family wheel experience sessions are available on July 15th and again on August 19th. Registration for the classes, as well as more information on Pearl City Clay House, can be found online at pearlcityclayhouse.org.
You're listening to Jamestown Tarp Skunks Baseball, right here on WRFA-LP 107.9 FM in Jamestown.
Top of the 7th about to start here, and it's Luke Fuller that's going to be pitching for Jamestown. And Chafee, he had a rocky start with a 4-run 2nd inning, but besides that, finished it off with 4 scoreless innings. But the walk-to-strikeout ratio, that's something that Nuke LaLoosh would be proud of.
Yeah, Chafee, 6 innings pitched. He only gave up 3 hits, but he did walk 7, also hit a batter, and struck out 7, giving up 3 earned runs, 4 runs total, 2 errors committed by Jamestown during his 6 innings of pitching as well. So they're going to go with Luke Fuller here to try to wrap up this inning and put out Auburn to give Jamestown a chance to come back and possibly tie this, if not win it, in the bottom of the 7th inning. Again, it's a doubleheader today here on Sunday, which means my apologies to our loyal listeners who love the Swedish Hour at 7 o'clock. The Swedish Hour will not be broadcast this evening. You can check it out online, though, at our website. We'll post the audio tomorrow morning for all of you Swedish Hour fans. But we've got a lot of Swedes here in Jamestown, Norm, that love their Swedish Hour, and we try to bring it to them every week throughout the year at 7 o'clock on Sundays. However, no Swedish Hour today because of the ball game today. We'll probably play a portion of the Swedish Hour after this game 1 of the doubleheader when we send it back to Anthony Merchant in the studio who will likely put on the Swedish hour, but we won't be able to hear it in its entirety. Instead, we got baseball.
Well, something's better than nothing, and I've listened to that program myself. I think it's pretty good, and
you learn some Swedish, if nothing else, because it
Yeah,
is in
and-
Swedish,
Yeah,
which is nice.
it's
And then
good,
in
yeah.
English, and then the English version as well. So it's a bilingual program of the English and Swedish variety. Every Sunday at 7 o'clock, going all the way back to when the station first went on the air back in 2004.
Well, we're back to the top of the order with Gross coming up to bat, and here comes Fuller's first pitch. Outside, ball one.
Gross flew out in the first inning, was hit by that pitch in the second inning, and grounded out in the fourth inning. So he's 0 for 2 here.
So next pitch on the way, upstairs 2-0.
Fuller has pitched, I think I mentioned this earlier, 5 2/3 innings so far this season. He's given up only 4 hits. There he hits a batter. That's not a good sign for Jamestown here. He's walked 6 and struck out 5. So now we've got a runner at first with Carson Gross walking to advance to first.
He was hit by the pitch.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hit by pitch. And Hazel Martinez now at the plate.
Yeah, so far he's a perfect 2 for 2 as the next pitch hits the heart of the plate for a strike.
Also walking as well, so he's reached base every time he's had a plate appearance here in this ball game.
So count here 0-1 as Fuller looking to keep the damage as is and Auburn looking to add an insurance run or two. Grossi has a decent lead off of first as Fuller gets the sign he wants. And here comes the next pitch. This one popped up. And it's going to go over the top of the press box for strike 2. So no outs, Gross on first, count 0-2. Next pitch on the way. Outside, 1-2. Martinez looking for his 3rd hit of the game. Fuller gets a sign. Here comes the pitch. And, oh, what a catch by Monroe, and that's going to be an unassisted double play. First he hits a home run, and a liner that, had he not have had the glove up, that would have got him right on the schnoz. But right place, right time, tags the bag, unassisted double play, and now it's going to be A.J. Wenrich, the right fielder.
That's the second double play we've seen today by Auburn, or committed by Auburn. Jamestown doing a nice job there. And, wow, Cooper Monroe, cat-like reflexes over there on base number 1.
Next pitch is called a strike on the outside corner for strike 1.
I thought for sure that was going to be a base hit. I couldn't believe he was able to get over there and get that catch in time.
Next one is fouled out of play, 0-2.
So Luke Fuller, a little bit of a shaky relief appearance here. He's not a pitcher typically. He's more of a utility player, but he has pitched in the past, and now he's got 2 outs.
And next one's outside, makes it 1-2.
And he's up on the count here against A.J. Wenrich, who's already struck out once here back in the first inning against starting pitcher Evan Chafee.
1-2 delivery. Caught looking, strike 3 at the heart of the plate. So Fuller gets it done. He doesn't allow a run in the top of the 7th. Skunks with the last licks. Jamestown, I know you're ready, but Jason, I got to shift it over to you first.
All right, I see I'm looking at the umpire down here trying to send a message over to to Jamestown here, but I'm not exactly sure what he's looking for. I guess he's just looking for some balls here. He's trying to get the kids that work the ball to give him some, and he just walked over and grabbed it himself. With that being said, hey, support for WRFA's coverage of the Jamestown Tarp Skunks is brought to you in part by listeners like you. WRFA is a non-commercial, non-profit, community, low-power radio station. Anyone who wants to make a donation or contribution of any amount can do so simply by clicking the donate button located on the menu bar of our website, WRFALP.com. It's fast and easy. Local businesses are also encouraged to make an underwriting contribution to WRFA. Let our listeners know who's sponsoring and supporting our programming by making an underwriting contribution today. To learn more about becoming a station underwriter, email WRFA@RegLene.com. If you enjoy this program, consider making a donation or underwriting contribution. Your support is greatly appreciated. Low power to the people, right on.
Yeah, with that, Aluko's going to stay in, so this is a possible 2-inning save chance here for Aluko. And the batter's due up. It's going to be 9, 10, and 1. Monroe, who in his last at-bat went yard, and it counted. Luke Fuller, who actually just pitched a shutout inning, and then we're back to the top with Grady Mee.
Watching the warm-ups with Aluko, he's still a little shaky. That last pitch he threw in the warm-ups was well outside and almost hit the umpire, whose back was turned.
Yeah.
He was talking to the catcher. No harm, though, nothing there. And now comes Cooper Monroe, who is 1 for 2 on the day. He flew out in the second inning, but hit a nice home run. Went yard, as Norm said, to left field in the 5th inning, giving Jamestown its second run of the day. And here we are, 4-2, bottom of the 7th inning of this doubleheader.
Next pitch is low for ball 1.
And because it's a doubleheader, just to remind our listeners, if you're just tuning in, this is the final inning, unless Jamestown is able to tie this one before 3 outs.
Next one on the way, and Monroe, he wanted home run number 2, but instead he had a hole in his swing, and it evens the count 1-1. Aluko looking to slam the door in game 1 of this doubleheader. Monroe again swinging and missing. He's trying to go for the juice, but sometimes just starting it off with a nice single works too. Get yourself on base and let the next man come up, but he wants that solo homer from the way he's been swinging. Well, here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3, so 3 straight hacks and 3 straight non-touching of the ball at all with the bat. So now it'll be Luke Fuller, who again just pitched that shutout inning for Jamestown in the 7th.
Fuller, the one who wears work gloves when he's at bat, rather than your traditional batting gloves. He flew out in the 3rd inning, struck out in the 5th inning.
And Aluko's next pitch. That's low, ball 1. And before the next pitch, fans, once again, we're at the top of the hour. You're listening to Jamestown Tarp Skunk Baseball on WRFALP 107.9 FM in Jamestown, New York, with Jamestown down to their last 2 outs here in game 1 of this doubleheader versus the Auburn Doubledays. Aluko's next pitch gets him right in the elbow guard. So that's a start. Get on base however you can. And with that, we'll be back to the top of the order with Grady Mee.
Grady Mee still looking to reach base for the first time today. He's Jamestown's best hitter, but he's 0 for 3 on the day. If ever a time he is due to make something happen, it would be in a situation like this. Final inning of the ball game, his team down by 2. He represents the tying run at the plate with 1 out and a runner at first.
Aluko's next pitch, outside, ball 1.
Aluko now has struck out 3 batters and also walked 3 batters.
Well, here's the 1-0 delivery. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Even though we've seen a bit of control issues, we do know that Aluko, he's got some heat on that palm. Even count 1-1 with just 1 out. Next pitch. Hard of the plate, strike 2, and that was one I thought Mee could have swung at.
Yeah, that was off speed. Plenty of time to react to that one and take a swing at it. And I'm not sure if me thought that was going to break inside or what, but it was just a simple changeup.
Here's the next pitch. That one fouled off, goes out of play, so me staying alive. Tightens up the gloves and steps back in. Count still 1-2. And also one out on the board. Aluko about to throw his next pitch. And that's outside, 2-2. Bolton wanted an appeal from the bases umpire, but he, from what I saw, shook his head. There was no way Meat checked anywhere at all on the plate.
No, it looked like he was going to make a slight movement there, but no way did his bat go across.
And that's a swing and a miss, strike 3. So, Aluko now struck out 3 of the last 4 batters that he's faced, and the last gasp, part of the Ivy League quartet, Tommy Googans. And again, this is a stage where this is critical for not just Jamestown, but for Auburn as well. Auburn's fighting to get into a playoff spot. Jamestown, they're fighting to get first place. Googans does represent the tying run for right now as he's up to bat. Next pitch by Aluko. That's low, ball 1.
Googans is 1 for 3. He did get a hit in the 3rd inning, and he flew out in the 1st inning, grounded out in the 5th inning. Jamestown down to its final out here. Game 1 of our doubleheader.
Here's the 1-0, and he went around. Looked like that was one he wanted back just from the way he swung.
Yeah, he was anticipating a fastball and was well ahead of that one. Good changeup by Aluko, giving Googans his first strike.
Aluko's next pitch fouled off, strike 2. So Aluko 1 strike away from punching a Game 1 win for Auburn. And I know, Jason, you've got the stats. How many saves does Aluko have on the year? Because if he gets this strike, he will be credited for the save.
He has 0 saves so far, according to the stat sheet.
Well, 1-2 pitch on the way, and that's going to go foul and out of play. So Googans fighting to stay alive in this at-bat.
Yeah, 1-2 count with 2 outs here. Last gasp effort here for Jamestown. They had a really good opportunity last inning in the 6th, but some errant base running with no outs came back to haunt them, and they left 3 runners on base. Nobody was able to score.
Well, here's the 1-2, and that swung on and missed for strike 3, and the roller coaster run for Jamestown continues as they drop Game 1 of this doubleheader 4-2. Got to give kudos, though, to Chafee. After that 2nd inning where the 4 runs were scored, 3 were earned, he threw shutout the rest of the way. But in all fairness, it was not on him. 1 run got scored on a throwing error, and the big coup de grace, Frahella's base running blunder trying to take home.
Yeah, and Jamestown leaves 8 runners on base as well, only scoring 2 runs, one of which was a home run. So that's indicative of not capitalizing on opportunities when you have players on base. Jamestown out-hit Auburn. 6 hits for Jamestown, just 3 hits rather for Auburn. So Jamestown was definitely in this from start to finish. A rocky 2nd inning, as you noted, and missed opportunities for Jamestown when they were at bat in the 6th inning, came back to haunt them. And so Game 1 of our doubleheader ends with a loss by the Tarp Skunks. The final score, Auburn 4, Jamestown 2. Auburn has a chance to sweep Jamestown for the season if they can win game number 2. They've already beat Jamestown 5 times this season. They're looking to make it number 6. It'll be the final time these 2 teams play, and it's going to be coming up here in just about 20 minutes or so from now, Norm. So we got more baseball here on WRFA, but in the meantime, it's 4-2 is the final score of game number 1. I'll send it to you to send it back to Anthony at the station, and then we should be back on the air in about 20 minutes for game number 2 of our doubleheader.
All right, fans, that's going to do it for Game 1 of today's doubleheader of the Jamestown Tarp Skunks baseball coverage. Once more, the final score in Game 1, Jamestown gets the short end of the deal, 4-2 versus Auburn. Thank you to our studio engineer, Anthony Merchant, who's going to be helping us out for both games. And For my broadcast partner, as well as the executive producer, Jason Sample, this is Norm Rodriguez saying thank you for listening to Game 1 of this doubleheader of Jamestown Tarp Skunk Baseball on WRFA. And like mentioned, we'll see you in about 20 minutes.